On the front row, the youngster Ryan Newman will have the pole, and he starts alongside Jason Leffler, defending champion in this series. In the second row, it's Brad Knopfsinger and J.J. Yaley. Row 3, rookie Paul White and Tracy Hines. Then it's Bill Rose and Jimmy Sills. In row 5 on the inside is Jason McCord, outside Bobby McMahon. In row 6, Russ Gamester and Dave Darlin. In row 7, Brian Tyler and Tony Elliott. In row 8, Patrick Quinn and Todd Kane. In the 9th row, starting side by side, Jack Hewitt, the two-time champion, and Rebel Jackson Jr. In row 10, Ricky Shelton and Rick Treadway. In the 11th row, it's Wally Pankratz and Scott Hatton. And in row 12, Mike Ordway and Michael Atkins. Yeah, what Russ Gamester does, if he goes away with a 66 or 67-point lead, he has the title. 100 laps, the yellows will count.
Oh, he got in that corner pretty hard, got a little bit sideways. Knopfsinger followed him through and passed Leffler in the second spot, but Leffler doesn't want to have any of that as he comes back.
Saw some sparks coming off the left rear of Knopfsinger's number 40. Right along, now you look back at Knopfsinger, and there's Paul White in that white number 100.
Yes, you can see that everybody takes a little. Oh, here we're listening. That's Janice East talking to Leffler, right, as he's running in second spot. She's telling him exactly what's going on behind him.
These cars, of course, just like midgets and sprints, do not have mirrors on them. And there he makes a move to the inside. Can he take the position from Ryan? No. Remember, Ryan led every lap at Indianapolis Raceway Park to win that feature.
And these guys have battled each other all year long in midgets and in the Silver Crown cars.
3 car lengths, 3.
Now then, the thing he doesn't want to do is get down in that bottom lane, heat up that right rear tire too much real early in the race, so he's got to be a little careful. He doesn't do it in a couple laps. He moves back up and follows.
Well, you heard Janice East say 3 lengths. 3 lengths. That told him how close the nearest car was to him.
Right. That way he can see who's in front of him. He can't see who's behind him. So as long as she's telling him what kind of trouble he has or how far the guy behind him is, then he knows what he has to do and how much of a chance he's got to work on the guy.
Well, Knopfsinger's back there in third. Then it's Paul White, Tracy Hines, J.J. Yaley rounding out the top 6.
Yeah, and you can see that he's right now just following Newman. He got down there, he tried it for 2 corners. Now then he's going to get down there and try it again. Let's look for him to do this maybe 1 or 2 corners. If he doesn't make it stick, good, you can see right there. It looks like Newman might be a little bit loose as he tries to hold him up. You can see right there the back end wiggles just a little bit.
So after he tries it a lap or 2 or a turn or 2, he backs out of it, cools the tire. Now he makes the pass.
Yeah, I think he's going to make it work this time. He got a good enough run on him. Now that he's past him, he can move back up in that faster lane and just go ahead and run where he wants to.
Right behind you.
See, she's telling him that Newman's right behind him. Now Newman is second. Gamester is back in 8th. There's the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. That is McCord in that white number 4. There's Gamester in the red 51. And that is J.J. Yaley in the red, white, and blue CarQuest number 67.
Right, Brian Tyler in the 69 car. So Gamester is, looks like Gamester's making his race car work right on the bottom of the racetrack as he's moved by Yaley, and now then starts working on McCord right down there on the bottom of the racetrack.
That is totally a family operation. 11th spot right now.
That's Tony Elliott right behind him, and it looks like Gamester all of a sudden might have gotten a rejuvenation. Maybe that mag that was popping and cracking has all of a sudden fixed itself, because I don't see any flame out of the left side of the car, and he seems to be passing cars again. He's back. He was back to 12th a couple laps ago. Now he's back up to 9th.
So on that championship chase, Newman is 5th, and Gamester is now up to 8th.
I think it is. Look at that. That engine seems to be running perfect. You don't see any flame coming out of that left side exhaust pipe like we saw earlier. So evidently, whatever the problem was, it's either reconciled itself. Maybe he just fouled a plug. Who knows?
Well, so Gamester may be right back in it as you ride with Jason Leffler up behind the 56 of Dave Darlin. Dave is in 14th position right now. Only look at the smoke coming out the right rear of Darlin's car.
Yeah, he's in heavy traffic right now, trying to get around Darlin.
5 car lengths. 5 car lengths.
We're hearing Janice East on 5 car lengths as he tries to work his way by. He moves to the inside and goes around Dave Darlin, who was won earlier this season at Springfield, former silver champion who has already locked up the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Championship this season. We'll take this break and come back with more from Southern California.
The race back up front, though, is beginning to heat up.
Once again, your leader is Jason Leffler. 61 laps now complete, working on lap 62. There's Tony Elliott in the yellow 20 car. There's Paul White in the 100. Elliott now up to 9th. Paul White has dropped back to 10th position. Jack Hewitt is 11th. Hewitt in that yellow 23. As your leader is in heavy traffic, there is your leader right there.
There is a race for the lead. Look at that. Brian Tyler is only about 2 car lengths behind Jason Leffler. He's been sneaking up on him for the last 3 or 4 laps. He's really putting a lot of pressure right now on Leffler. Believe me, Leffler knows he's there.
Inside of you.
You can hear Janice East telling him where he's at.
Behind you.
Well, he won at Phoenix. Tyler was victorious at Phoenix, and now Leffler has been told that Tyler's right behind him.
Now then, they're telling him to run low on the racetrack. They want him to block. That's where Tyler's been running, right on the very bottom.
Let's listen to what Janice is saying again if we can. Let's. As soon as I say that, she's not talking to him.
Well, she's telling him that he's
Still
running.
there.
Telling him he's still there. He's still on the bottom of the racetrack. You can see he's got the brakes are pretty hot on that car. But he seems to have figured out a way to get that car to work right on that white line at the bottom. And if you can do that here, you can pass a lot of cars because most guys don't go down there.
Well, all she's saying right now is still there. Oh, a big slide as he tried to get under Tony Elliott in that Gene Nolan number 20. And boy, he was hanging the rear end out on that one.
Well, obviously, that race car is set up to run down on the flat part of the racetrack. So if he really needs to run on the bottom.
67 laps now complete.
And Leffler's done one good thing there. He's moved to the bottom of the racetrack. He's taken the racetrack away from Brian Tyler. That's where Brian Tyler wants to run, and as long as he's down there, Tyler doesn't seem to be able to move up and run in that middle groove nearly as well as he does on the bottom.
Only 7 cars now remain on the lead lap. Ryan Newman now is in 7th position. Gamester has gotten around Newman. Gamester is now in 6th position. So whatever the problem was with the mag, it has dissipated.
Right there.
It's unbelievable that he got that thing fixed. But look at Tyler. Now that he's got a groove on the bottom, he's got it just a... No, couldn't quite pull it off. But I think Leffler's going to have to go back to the bottom.
Still waiting to hear what Janice East is saying to Leffler.
Well,
The inside, he's right there.
oh, there he
Right
goes.
there, indeed he is, as he goes by.
Yeah, that time, as long as Leffler went to the bottom and kind of blocked that groove, he was okay. But obviously, he will hang on. Looks like all of a sudden the cord started to get a little bit loose as he's trying to catch him. But he just can't find a way. Can't use that bottom groove like Gamester and Tyler did earlier.
Knopsinger, of course, has spent most of his last 2 or 3 seasons living in the Charlotte area, working as a mechanic, as a crew chief in NASCAR.
Well, he's done a lot of things in NASCAR, that's for sure. And this is the white flag this time around. Jason Leffler, thanks to a white flag, or a yellow flag, I should say, is going to come home victor in this race.
Well, he cooled his tires. Now let's listen to see what Janice says as he takes the checkered flag. Listen in.
Well, they're all pretty happy, and you got to give them a lot of credit.
Did a hell of a job. Good job, Bob. Thing was working good. Everybody, Brad, Torch, everybody, boy, MJ, Janice, everybody on the crew did a good job.
Well, you got to give the guy behind the wheel a little bit of that credit.
Perfect. Move it up.
So he picks up the double, won the midgets, won the Silver Bullet Series.
Well, the guy behind the wheel did a little bit of that, and that tire getting cooled down on that yellow flag made all the difference in the world. And he certainly knew how to take advantage of it once it cooled down.
21 seconds.
High fives all around as he pulls into victory lane. So once again in the points championship, Newman did finish in 5th position, and Gamester came home 21st. So we'll take this break, come back to talk to all the combatants here in Southern California.